Sophia here. Welcome back to my Etsy shop, Frenchy and Tubby. I'm going to feature 7 new items going into the shop tomorrow, Friday, October 24 at 5 p.m. It's 7 items and 2 pieces of fabulous jewelry. And I have to tell you, this week's spread is amazing. I have some really beautiful things and some high-end things. Let me start with the thumbnail. Some of you probably recognized it already. We are talking about Pyrex 7759. This is the original Pyrex percolator, all glass percolator. It was actually part of a collection they called Flameware. So let me put my specs on and I'm going to tell you everything about it and why this one is particularly special. Let's start with the special about it. It is the complete set. Now when you go online, you're going to find just a carafe, or maybe it's got the carafe and the basket, but it's missing the stem, or it's missing the lid. No matter what, it's hard to find in a full, complete, original set. And if you go on replacement.com, and that's going to be a shocker for some of you, but if you go on replacement.com, this is actually valued right now $299. That is how rare it is to find it as a complete set. Now you know how I do business in my shop, nowhere near that price. Okay, I don't even think I'm going to sell it for $100 because I want you to have it and perhaps even resell it if that's what you fancy. So what is it and how does it work? This is a percolator, meaning that it's going to make the coffee for you, just like a drip coffee maker, but it's also going to be the serving carafe. So I'm going to put it on the table, I'm going to move the camera down, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use it, because this thing is amazing. And percolators, I don't know why we stopped making coffee from percolators. I think it's the best coffee in the world. You heard me rave before about my Corningware percolator. Let me flip the camera down and show you exactly what you're getting in this fabulous, started in 1952, Pyrex 7759. So here it is. You can use this on a gas stove top, but you can also use it on an electric one. You just need a diffusing plate, and they're very inexpensive. I think they're under $8 on Amazon. It's just basically a metal plate that you put on top of your coil electric, and it will help diffuse the heat so that way you don't burn the bottom. This is the lid. The lid is numbered. It's the original lid, 7759C G15. So lid, perfect condition. Here's the basket. Now what breaks all the time on these is the stem. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with regards to the stem. This is all glass. This is the stem with the basket. So I took it out, and imagine that it's still inside its carafe, right? All you have to do is take that out. You're going to place a coffee filter. There's a special coffee filter for percolators. It's basically a square with a hole in the middle. You wet it a little bit, and then you squeeze the water out. And you're going to place your coffee filter with the hole right here onto here. And you're going to make your filter, because it's wet, it's going to stick to the side, right? You're going to put your coffee ground right here. This carafe is a 9 cup. It's the largest one that they made. You put 9 scoops of coffee plus 1 for the pot. Once it's in there, you're going to take your filter and you're going to wrap it around like this, as though you were making a little packet or a dumpling, all right? So you just cover the whole thing. And then you put this back on. What's going to happen is that you're going to put your 9 cups of water in here, and you're going to put it on the stove. And again, I'm showing you with this on the outside. The water is going to come from underneath as it boils, and it's going to come out from the pipe right here, and it's going to fall onto this plate, and start dripping on the coffee. And then from there on, do you see how this is also a filter? Your coffee is going to drip into the carafe, and it's going to continue to recycle until your coffee is done. Put that back in. So here's the stem. This is the part that people break all the time. It is signed Pyrex, registered trademark on it. It's got a little bit of calcium or hard water deposit on the inside of the pipe. Very easy to clean with a little bit of Limy Shine or Lime Away, or, you know, one of those coffee maker cleaners. And this alone is $50 as a replacement part. People love this coffee maker and this percolator so much, you can still find the parts for it. Reminder, they started making it in 1952 and they stopped, I believe, in 1969. Right before the 70s, then we went into drip coffee makers like Mr. Coffee and all of that. So this comes up, you can take this out. You can take this out. Easy to clean, right? And then this comes apart as well. So you can clean it. All of these pieces, you can find replacement parts, and they're all very expensive. Let me put that back on. What else does it come with? I think I'm the only one right now on the internet who's going to sell it with this little gizmo right here. I have no idea what it's for. I'm going to assume it's just a heat, not a heat component, but a heat keeping component maybe. I'm not sure, but it goes at the bottom of it, okay? Now, this also comes apart. If you remove the screw that's right here, the band will come off, and so will the handle. The handle is completely detachable. So if you ever break the handle, you can replace the handle. I think the handle is like $25. But it's tightly screwed on. And I want you to look at the condition of the stainless steel here. And it says stainless on it, by the way. It's all numbered. Right here it says Pyrex 7759. And then on the other side right here, it says 7759-H. B47. That's the model for the handle. So when you're ready to make coffee, you just got to be careful with your stem. You put it right back in. You close this. That particular lid has 2 notches, one on either side. So you go like this, and then you turn it, right? So that way there's no accident. And then this is your peeking window. You're going to see your coffee spurt out like a geyser and splash onto this part here on the inside. The magic about this is that unlike the Corningware percolators, which are the ones that I have, you can actually see your coffee in the making. It's really cool actually, because you get to see your coffee circulating through the whole carafe and dripping, mixing at the base right here. So you know your coffee, how strong you want it. The longer you boil it, the stronger your coffee is going to be. I cannot tell you whether this is the original 1952 because they made it for about 15 years, but it's definitely super vintage. And again, it is the complete set. Absolutely gorgeous, in superb condition. I don't have a single chip, not even a scratch. The only thing I have is a little bit of leftover coffee stain at the bottom here, which, not that I was too lazy to clean, but let's face it, I was kind of in a rush. But it's unbelievable. This is for the collector. This is for the Pyrex collector, lover, or a person who really enjoys the perfect cup of coffee. Pyrex 7759. I'm telling you, it's not going to be $299 in the shop. I could possibly sell it at a price point that allows you to resell it and make a profit. Okay, just saying. Item number 2 when I come back. Let's talk about crystal. This is a beautiful candy dish that's also very vintage. Look at this thing. Oh, with my light it shows so well. Okay, so there was two designs for this. There was this design and then the one with a lid. I know this is not the lidded one because it doesn't have the stop on it for the lid, so it's not missing a part. This is the single ball. This particular pattern was called Gold Wing. They also made it in ruby flash and clear. This is by Anna Hutte Crystal out of Germany, and it's from the 1950s. It is 24% lead crystal. It is a candy dish, and it's absolutely the cutest little candy dish you've ever seen. So it has this wing pattern. Do you see the 24 karat gold here? There's 3 wings on it. There is no call out. It's in perfect condition. Sometimes people have been a little bit too eager to clean and they rub off some of the gold. The gold on this is absolutely intact. Beautiful crystal. It's got a scallop edge with a sawtooth pattern. Do you see that? I don't have a chip. I don't have a scratch. No discoloration. It is not signed. They did not sign the pieces. They would have a foil sticker on it. 24% lead crystal from Germany, 1950s, by Anna Hutte. It was a very popular brand in the 40s. I think they started in 1945 and all the way into the 1990s. I don't know if the company still exists. When I found it, it had 2 little felt pads. I felt that it needed 3. I don't have any, so I removed the 2 that were there. But look at this thing. So it's a candy dish. Or if you want to use it on your vanity, put some of those little pearls in there and use it to stick all of your makeup brushes. I really truly believe in upcycling and using things that are pretty and vintage for other purposes. You don't have to put candy in it, okay? But it's got everything you want in Christmas. It's got the gold, the crystal, and the pattern is really pretty. Look at this. Anna Hutte, 1950s. It's called Gold Wing. Another item that, out of all of the items I'm going to show you today, there's 2 that I would absolutely, or 3, that I would absolutely keep. The Pyrex, a piece of jewelry that I will show you in a minute, and this one. You know I love tea and I love teapots, but what I like most are teapots that are from restaurant ware, service ware. This is absolutely amazing. Would you look at this? This is by Town Serviceware with a junk. It's just what they call those Asian ships. A little bit of an Art Deco handle here. You can see that. It's in perfect condition. It's very thick, vitreous porcelain. So vitreous porcelain is basically your regular ceramic porcelain, right? To which they've added a special coating that makes it look like glass, therefore vitreous. But that coating also makes it harder on the outside, so it sustains a little bit more mishandling. It is perfect for restaurant ware. Town started making restaurant ware in 1900, and they supplied restaurants and railways primarily. You remember back in the days, you would be able to go to the dining restaurant on your, well, at the time it was Pullman train, and they supplied restaurants and railways all over the world. So I'm not sure why they picked this particular pattern, but I can tell you about the year, and the year is giving me a hint. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to show you what it says at the bottom, because Town and Walker were very smart. They labeled everything in a way where you were able to immediately date the piece. So it has its regular label, right? And then right here it says 4-35. Don't mind the little bit of dirt here. Magic eraser will take care of it. It's an old teapot. 4-35. This is the reference number for April 1935. This is how old this teapot is, and I want you to look at how beautiful she is. I have zero call out. It is as though made last month. The pattern is beautiful. It's got a little bit of a early 20th century type pattern here, very Royal Copenhagen if it was blue. And then they have the little junk boat. And 1935, Shanghai was all the rage. Everybody was going to Shanghai. They started doing casinos. They had jazz clubs. A lot of Americans were going to Shanghai. It was the place to go. Look at this Asian scene. It's beautiful. And it's still into the Art Deco period. You can see that from the handle, right? With that little square right here. I love this. I absolutely love this teapot. It is self-straining. Telling you right now, this is heavy, okay? Because it's restaurant wear. You can see the strainer right here. It's a little bit stained on the inside because it's been used, right? I don't know where. Food Service Equipment Company, New York, Walker, China, Bedford, Ohio, 4-35. No call out. Little pipe hole. She's beautiful. There's a little repeat of the design right here on the handle. She's absolutely beautiful. This is a 4-cup, okay, from 1935. Can't get any more vintage than that. Give it a few more years and she will be an antique. The spout, perfect. There's no call out except the stains. A little bit of stains on the inside, but there's no crazing on the outside because it's vitreous porcelain, which is glass-like. And you can see the reflection of my light, right? It's very shiny. Okay, when I come back, we're going back to Germany and high-end crystal. So if you watch my teacup collection video, you probably remember me raving about Rosenthal as a brand out of Germany. They are high-end. You don't find Rosenthal at all of your stores. They usually are in the high-end department stores or specialty boutique. I here have Crystal by Rosenthal. This is probably one of their designs that is the most recognized or recognizable when you go to a store. You're like, oh, I know this one. I'm talking about Turnus. This is a pair of Rosenthal 24% lead crystal votive candle holders in their Turnus pattern. And Turnus means twist. And I'm going to show you what we mean by that. Do you see how it twists? It's really cool. And I'm not a fan of modern designs, you know that, right? But this is really cool. And the lower the flame, the more refraction you're going to get, right? So if you put a candle that's a bit higher, you'll just get a nice candle glow. But if the candle is lower, like a votive, for instance, or a tea light, you're going to see all of the light playing with the rainbows and everything because it's very good crystal. I have 2 of them. They are in amazing condition, no call out. So what I'm going to do is show you the bottom of it against this so you can see the signature Rosenthal Studio Lane, meaning studio line, Germany, and they are both signed Rosenthal. Okay, these are really cool. These will make a fabulous gift for Christmas, for somebody who likes modern, who likes crystal, or is looking for things that are a little bit different. This is definitely different. Now, when did they make those? The pattern is now discontinued. They started them, I believe, in the 1990s. Okay, so still very vintage. Aren't they cool? Perfect Christmas decor too. Put on the table. Oh, so nice. Okay, when I come back, porcelain. So in the shop, I sell a lot of vases, and those vases can be either crystal or porcelain. I here have an Otagiri, Japan, late 70s, early 1980s vase. Oblong shape with gold accent. You see the gold accent, right? And at the bottom, it still has a little sticker that says made in Japan. But the beauty of it is not on this side, because that's the back of it. Look at the front. We have a daylily. She is the prettiest. Here is a daylily in pink, yellow, and some foliage. This is not hand painted. I just want to make sure you know that. And she's only on the front, not on the back. What I like about this vase is the fact that it's tall and oblong. So you're going to be able to put all sorts of foliage here, and you can do like a fan. It's obviously perfect for daylilies, but you can do all sorts of designs with this because it's tall enough to hold your flower stems or your canes, and it's narrow enough that they're not going to flop all over the place. This is a very interesting vase by Otagiri. I really like it. And even though it's the 80s, I don't think it's passé or, you know, old looking. I think it can still be very current. And you definitely can use it this way if you just want a modern vase that's white. Crisp white with a daylily. Isn't it nice? Look at this. I think it's very pretty. And the gold on it is in perfect condition. I have no call out. The only call out that I could give you, other than a little bit of, you know, darkening here, is the sticker has faded. And I know it's a made in Japan sticker because it was in perfect condition when I started washing it, and then I scrubbed a little bit too much and part of the sticker came off. But it was the made in Japan sticker. So this is Otagiri, 1980s vase, inexpensive, but very pretty. Another one that would make a perfect gift for the holidays. Hey, you need to start shopping early, okay? And why not shop Frenchy and Tubby for your friends and family members who enjoy vintage stuff. This is massive. This will require a large box, I'm telling you right now. It's not super old, all right? It's still vintage, but not super old. Now, vintage is 25 plus year, okay? This was made only between 2001 and 2002. This is the Apple Orchard collection by David Carter Brown. And he made it for Oneida and another one of their brand called Sakura. Oneida only issued this in 2001 and they stopped making it in 2002. And you're probably wondering, what on earth is this big thing, Sophia? Well, here you go. It's a cookie jar. It's a massive cookie jar. It's got to be over a gallon, okay? Can I just say that this is in unbelievable shape? So it's a basket. Look at that. And it's ceramic, okay, with a matte finish. And I want you to know that this is hand painted. It says so at the bottom, but it's hand painted. So we got a basket, right? It's kind of like a satin finish on the inside. It's not super glossy. On the back it says Sakura, David Carter Brown, made in China. Sakura, delicate hand painted surface, sponge, hand wash only with sponge. Do not scrub, do not put in the dishwasher. All the paint will come off. Okay, so here's the basket. This is really big. And here is the lid. And it's a mix of green apple and red apples. How cool is this thing? And to know that they only made it for 1 year. So clearly this is where you hold it, right? Let me close it again and show you. I know somebody's going to want this. It's not super expensive. The only thing is that it's really big, so it's going to require a large box. Look at this. So it's the fall, right? It would be perfect on your kitchen counter for your fall cookies, all the way up to Thanksgiving. Think about it. When you have your guests coming over, what a cookie jar to have in a family room or on your kitchen counter. It's really neat. Personally, if I had a big kitchen, I would display this all year long. But be careful when you wash it, okay? Sponge work only. You do not want to rub that paint off. Condition, let's talk about the condition. I really don't see anything. I think there's like a tiny flea bite somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. It's ridiculously small. You can't even see it. It's so small. Right here. Okay. I think that's the only one I have. All right. Everything else is in perfect condition. I'm gonna have to use a ton of bubble wrap for this thing, but it's so cool. So cool. I've had it in the shop for quite some time, and you remember when I was filming in the other room, you probably remember seeing it in the background. So this is Oneida, David Carter Brown. They only made it between 2001 and 2002, so it does qualify as vintage. Okay, or it's 1 year short of being vintage. Okay, let me put it to the side because it's quite heavy. Another item that I have is beautiful, but there will be a rant. Look, I sourced it at Goodwill, okay? And you know, most of my stuff I get at Goodwill. And you can still find amazing prices at Goodwill. I here have a tall tray from the 1960s, signed Maxi. Metal, okay? This is really cool. So if you have a Rooster kitchen theme, or if you like that kind of kitsch decor, this one's for you. Matte finish, you see it. And it's in pretty good shape. I only have like maybe 2 little paint loss like here. I don't know if you can see it, like right here. And then there's another one right here. Okay, it's gold, and of course, you know, a little bit of loss here and there. So by itself it would not be expensive to begin with if it was in perfect condition. The problem is that Goodwill has the most difficult stickers to remove from certain surfaces. Regardless of how much you soak it in pretty much boiling water, soap, oil, I tried everything. I could not remove that darn sticker because it was a sticker that had the metallic security thing on it. So what happened is that unfortunately, yes, I damaged it. This is where the sticker used to be, and it peeled off some of the paint. Okay, so as a result, this 1960s tray, which was already kind of going to be discounted anyway because it's got quite a few scuffs here on the end of it, but now that I've made this big boo-boo here, it's definitely going to be discounted. Okay, but I don't want to keep it, and I want somebody to enjoy it. Now here's an idea for you: use it as wall decor, or better yet, you can repaint it on the back. Or even better yet, if you're going to use it as a decorative piece around your house, on your coffee table for instance, glue a piece of felt on the back. You won't see this anymore. It won't damage it any further, and it definitely will not damage your tabletop. But how cool is this Rooster? So you can see it's gold with black design. Very kitsch. Very primitive too. I don't know. This caught my eye. I was like, hey, somebody's going to want this because it's really neat. Now, they made it in red, which you don't see very often online, and they made it in white. That one I've seen a lot of. So that's the red one. It's tall. If somebody wants kitsch tray to serve during the holidays, I think it's really cool. Again, I would put it on the wall. All right? Okay. When I come back, we're going to talk about jewelry. So jewelry. I have one brooch which belongs to me, and I'm going to sell it because I have two. The other one is a little bit different, and the other one is a necklace from a high-end brand. Some of you probably have never heard of the brand, but that's okay. I'll give you a little bit of history. So when I come back, we're going to somewhat sparkle. Jewelry. Let me start with the brooch. If you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, actually I'm also putting it on YouTube as shorts. You've probably seen this particular brooch, and I said, by the way, I'm going to sell it. Well, here it is. So if you were waiting for me to put it up for sale, here we go. This is a Samson brooch from the 1960s. You're looking at metal and glass and lucite beads. You see the lucites right here, right? I'm just showing it to you right now against the black background. Now, how do I know this is Samson SA? It should be signed SA in the back. It is not. However, I have another brooch by them that is the exact same one, but round. So mine doesn't have the stars. It's just a round dome like this. It might be a little bit higher as a dome. So here's the front and here's the back. This is an open back. And this is what we refer to as root beer color, and I think you can see why. Now, disclosure. One of those fell off, I had to reglue it. And then there was a missing turquoise. And I just so happened to had little beads, glass beads of turquoise. So one of those turquoise beads is a replacement. I'm just being honest, okay? I'm just telling you, whenever I repair something, I have to tell you. I'm not going to try to pass it off as the original. So this is a really neat brooch. Look at this. You look like a sheriff with this. It's 1960s. I prefer the round one, that's why I kept the round one. It's a very nice barrel closure, long pin. So Samson was a company, I think they started in the 40s. They were out of Providence, Rhode Island. And Providence, Rhode Island, I don't know if you were aware, is one of those states that during the 1950s and 60s was the hub for costume jewelry making. There was a ton of companies that were making the jewelry there. Matter of fact, Sarah Coventry was one of them. And another one, Capri, was one of them. They used to commission their pieces out of the jewelry makers and factories in Providence, Rhode Island, or the whole Rhode Island. But it's really neat. I like it very much. I have another one that's round. You probably remember seeing it. I am letting go of this, of the sheriff's star. And by the way, if you get one of those little adapters, it would make a very nice pendant too. How about you put it in a hat over the winter, right? Or on a coat. So nice. I don't know why I'm letting go of it. The next one is by somebody you probably never heard of. His name is Giuliano Fratti. He comes from Milan. And I'm going to put it on my bust here, but it's longer than the bust. So this is what this looks like. And it's a double strand. I'm going to dabble it for now. Okay, here we go. Okay. So, first of all, how do I know it's Giuliano Fratti? I know that because in the back of it, it says GM, and that's his mark, Giuliano Milan. Okay, he was operating out of Milan, Italy. What you're looking at is gold tone, possibly gold plated, because this is a high-end jewelry maker. Gold tone, we're gonna say, and obsidian beads. It's a 2-strand. The shortest one is the obsidian one, and it's a 16-inch. The longest one is a gold tone. I'm going to say gold tone because I don't test, okay? I do not know if it's gold plated or just a gold tone. The second one is a box chain, what we refer to as a box chain. Here it is. You can probably see the box, right? Okay, instead of being a link. The chain itself is a 17-inch. The closure is a box hinge closure. Like this. Look at this. So you can wear it like this. Very nice. It looks great with this jacket, by the way, and very nice with my damascene too. Or if you want to, you can dabble it. So to dabble it, instead of stretching it and breaking it, right, you open it and you go 1 and 2. Okay, don't try to force a necklace around your neck. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Okay, there's the other way. So you can wear it like this. All right, so who was Giuliano Fretti? He is a big name in the fashion industry of course I can open it, out of the fashion industry in Italy. He started a long time ago, okay? Before the 1940s, he was known as Mr. Button, as in buttons. He was specializing in accessories for the high-end brands. We're talking Chanel, Prada, all of these guys, okay? Valentino, all of these guys. So he was making buttons, belt buckles, and other accessories like toggles, you know, any kind of accessories that you would need in the fashion industry. So he was in Milan, in the garment district. He had a shop there, and people from all over the world, say for instance you work out of Chanel and you need specific button rhinestones, right? They would actually send a guy over to Giuliano Fretti in Milan to go and buy a whole box of 200, 300 of those buttons. He was known for that. In 1947, he decided to start making jewelry. Go online, plug in Giuliano Fretti Tutti's necklace, and look at the prices. They are $200, $300. The vintage ones. Granted, they may be a little bit more elaborate than this one, okay? He's a very sought after jewelry maker by collectors. And the interesting thing about him is that he made jewelry for his shop, but he also made jewelry that was solely commissioned for private customers and private client. A lot of his private clientele was Italian people I've never heard of. But there was one in particular that stood out for me, was none other than Miss Tanguette. And if you don't know who Miss Tanguette was, she was a French entertainer who probably started at the during the jazz era. She was very well known as a singer and entertainment in France. He made jewelry just for her. She would contact him and tell him, I want a necklace with such and such stone that looks like X, Y, and Z, 4 strands, whatever. He would design it, make it for her, and exclusively sell it to her. There are pieces of Giuliano Fretti out there that are only in existence as a one piece. He didn't reproduce them. I don't think this is one of them. If it is, well, lucky winner who buys it. So here's another tidbit about Giuliano Fretti. And I really like him more for that than anything else. In 1970 something, I think it was 1972, out of the blue and completely impulsively, he closed shop. Shut down everything. The buttons, the belts, the jewelry. He made bracelets too. Some of his pieces are absolutely stunning. And he just closed the shop. Years later, he was interviewed, and somebody finally asked, why did you close the shop? You were at the height of your little empire here in making jewelry. People commission pieces privately from your label. What happened? You know what happened? He had so much integrity for his craft and such a profound love for the fashion industry in general. He could not stand the direction fashion, prêt-à-porter, and fashion in general was taking at the time, very early 70s. To him, it was blasphemy, what was going on in the fashion industry. We're talking he started at the time of the new look by Dior. So he's used to certain forms, certain shapes, certain fabrics, a certain allure. He could not stand what was going on at the during the early 1970s. And in order for him to preserve his integrity as a designer and as a purveyor of jewelry and accessories to the fashion industry, he preferred to not be a part of it. any clothes shop. How about that, Mr. Fratty? I have nothing more but respect for you. That's integrity right there. So you can go ahead and tell your friends the story now. When you wear this necklace, and again, 16-inch or 17-inch, it has a little bit of tone loss. I'm not going to say it's in perfect condition. That's why I'm not going to sell it for $250, okay? If you look at the back here, you can see a little bit of the gold tone is missing. It still has plenty of shine, okay? Not so much on the chain, but, you know, it's been worn and loved. Obsidian, gold tone, again, it could be gold plated, I have no idea. I do not test. One day, when I sell enough jewelry and enough pieces in my shop, I will purchase a tester and a presidium for stones, but now is not the time. This could be yours. It's a piece of Italian fashion history. Giuliano Fratti. And by the way, this is from the very late 1950s, early 1960s, when things started to change, and he didn't like it one bit. You can wear it single or double. So you tell me down below, which ones are your favorite this week? Is it the teapot or perhaps the brooch? The brooch is beautiful, okay? Go back on my Instagram and you'll see it with the round one that's matching, that says SA in the back. And I have the earrings to go with my brooch. I think it's very pretty. So is it the brooch, the teapot, this, or maybe it's the ginormous cookie jar? You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And please don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner. Hit that bell button so you get notified whenever I post a new video. All the items I featured in today's video will be live in the shop tomorrow, Friday, October the 24th at 5 p.m. You can check out my shop. The link is right here or down below. And that would be it for this week. Thank you for watching. Bye.